It says it's so easy. It's so easy in StreamYard.
Oh no,
Because you don't have to
StreamYard.
do anything. I mean, okay. All right, so I saw you message me. All right, I think we are live.
We are
I,
live.
I haven't even checked, but it says we are live. I'm going to take it
No,
the
we're
word for.
live, man.
Yeah. So we have one viewer in there, Gary.
We
Gary
got
Thurley.
Gary.
If you're still there,
Hey,
and he
Gary.
just got done doing a hangout with Metalhead Hippie. It was
Yep.
Metalhead Hippie in there. Oh, you saw it.
I
Brian was
was
in
in there
there.
for a little bit. Yeah, I had
Oh, you
to.
were in there too.
I had to drop out. I was doing some filming, so
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I had
Well,
the I had the let's film it bug bit me, and I'm like, yeah, I got to go ahead and do this. So
yeah. Now, what I like about now, whatever Gary was doing, it sounded good. StreamYards wasn't killing it that I could tell. I mean, I was
Mhm.
listening upstairs on the TV, so that's why I wanted to ask Gary if you're still here. I know they have that. What do they have that audio thing where? Let me see. Where is that? Where's that at here? Oh, now we got people in here.
Yeah,
Hey, Dwight. How you doing, Dwight?
yeah.
Who
Dwight
and
and Pete.
Dwight, and I did watch the replay. I did see you on the show. So, but we have that on the audio thing. You have that disable audio processing, which is not on by default. So I don't know if that has anything to do with where like Gary was playing some stuff and it sounded pretty good to me. I couldn't tell where um, StreamYards was killing it like it does on a lot of other things. Oh, there's that Dana.
Yeah.
Ed, have you done anything with OBS since we were messing around the other day? I mean, what you and your wife were doing, what you had out there today was sounded really good. Now I'm using my audio because here's I was doing that video what I sent you the other day, Dave, and I don't like this in front of me. And this you have to be right
Right,
on
right.
top. You have to be
Yeah.
right. It's dynamic mic, and then if you got a guitar, it's in your way. And I don't have now my other one. I do have a condenser mic over there, which I might bring over, but still, I got to hook it up. But I wanted to see how the Q2N mic sounds, and you don't even see it. It's right on the desk. And if it sounds okay, that will solve that problem.
It sounds great. No, it sounds fine.
Because I was thinking about getting a what do you call it, like a lapel mic, but
Yeah,
then that's wires coming to me, and then I have this and the guitar, so I don't want that.
right.
Yeah. So, anyway, I have this quest. I want to learn guitar theory, and I know you don't need to, but it's I'm tired of I just copy and try to play what I see somebody else do, like a lot of us do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm going to be retiring in less than a year or less than 6 or 8 months, hopefully, I'm gonna have a lot of time on my hand.
Right.
And I even thought about like trying to find some teacher, and but just to learn the theory, but not just theory, learn how to try to improve my playing, and
Sure.
and I know you're doing a lot of stuff yourself, and you know quite a bit. And how is your journey going?
It's going quite well. I mean, at least I feel like it is. I'm learning stuff all the time, and it's always kind of a the way Lawrence teaches is it's kind of a leapfrog thing. Mm-hmm. So he'll teach me something one week, and then the next week we don't discuss it, and maybe the next week we don't discuss it, but in 3 weeks we'll revisit it, and just to see if that's kind of sunk into me, or if I have any other questions about it. So and in the interim, sorry, bump my boom. In the interim, I'm learning a couple other different things, right? So it's always a continuation. There's never work on one thing until you hammer it. That's up to me to do on my own, but it's always progressing as it goes. So yeah, I mean, is that I've learned more I've learned more in the last 5 months, and had more of those aha light bulb moments in the last 5 months than I've had in almost 30 years of playing, or over 30 years of playing. So if I say if I had to say, is it worth it? Absolutely, it's worth it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it would be nice to know, like, like I said, I copy songs, but half the time I don't even pay attention what chords they are. But it would be nice to know what scales derive from that, other than I can figure it out in my head just playing. I can figure out what key. And me, in the last 4 years, I learned so much just by listening to YouTube, tutorials on YouTube, because
Right.
everything was pentatonic. Now more of my stuff is like major minor stuff now, mixed in with the pentatonics,
Right.
just from learning stuff. And I couldn't tell you what a major scale was. I probably did know, but I probably didn't pay attention. But now my melody is coming from a major scale. I
Right.
try to work some kind of melody out in my playing. But it'd be nice to know, why does it sound like this? I mean, and what notes are going to sound good with what chords?
Well, that's an easy one. I can answer that one for you right now.
Sure.
Your chord notes are going to sound the best with your chords. So
exactly,
if if you're playing against an E, so an E or an E major, an E, a G sharp, or a B is going to sound great against that E. Now you could throw some tension and throw in a D sharp, but you better resolve it pretty fast.
Mm-hmm. And I like how you were telling me about that the other day. And when you do get on that diminished chord, you can't stop there. You got
you have to go.
Go back on the root, at least resolve on the root, I would think.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to resolve to the root. That's just the most pleasing place for it to resolve. I mean, you can resolve it to, you can pull it back to like the fourth. The fourth is a decent resolution, but it does resolve better on the tonic. So on your key, so your root, whatever you want to call it, your one chord.
Right. Now, Dog Paw, he just put something in the chat. Is that has something to do with what you were telling me today? What is it? 2 V7 or is that something else altogether? I'm not sure. But like I said, like when you were bringing up, like, or when I mentioned to you, like, what is a 1-4-5 progression where they talk about? I don't know. I mean, I might have known something at the time, but
right.
It's nice to know what they're talking about when somebody says, "Hey, let's play a 1-4-5 or whatever."
Right. And arpeggios. So arpeggios are great, but arpeggios can be a lot to tackle for some people. So if you just learn the triads, the triads are, it's the 1, 3, and 5 of your arpeggio.
It's the same thing. It's going to be the same thing. Yep.
So learn your triads first, and then you can branch out, learn those arpeggios, and learn your sevens. Because if you know where the 1, 3, and 5 is, the 7's an easy find.
See, I've always played, I guess, by ear. I mean, I learned like a major, minor arpeggio, so I can play it up and down the neck in a chord thing. I can't play it fast, but it sounds like an arpeggio, and it just sounds good. But I don't do anything with the 7th. It's either a major arpeggio I know or a minor.
Right.
And then now I'm starting to play it in different places instead of the same thing. Like the thing I was messing around with the other day, I was, from what you were telling me, like the 1, 3, 5. Let's say in a C scale. Mm-hmm. I said, well, I can play that. Oh, I can play it up here too. And hey, I'm just practice with it. But then to me, it's going to apply to the triads too. You can play those triads, if you want to play them on the. First off, I want to learn them on the. Like the E, B, and G strings. Learn to do some stuff on there. I'm doing some stuff I have been, but I just want to mix it up. So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's what I would start with, because in if you pick three strings, and it doesn't matter if you pick the EGB or EGB or BGE or GBE, if you pick those three strings right there, you only have three patterns of a major. You have three patterns of a minor. You have three patterns of diminished, and that's it. You learn those. That it's nine in total of your triads. And then if you want to go to the next three sets of strings, guess what? It's the same number. Isn't going to change. And you want to go to the next three set of strings, guess what? It's still three. Three for major, three for minor, three for diminished.
Yeah, I think Ed's got a good point in there. Yeah, there's something I do on the two strings. I know I'm using some kind of triad thing, but I'm using 2 3 this fast thing, and then I have to like resolve after I hit that dominant seventh, and then I don't want to finish it. I have to hit another note, and then it kind of sounds good. So I'm assuming that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Oh, look at Gary. I'm lost. Aren't you? I thought you were in Florida, Gary. he is. Well, I know I don't need to learn it. I know it, but I want to learn it. I mean, like I said, I'm going to have, God willing, I'm going to have a bunch of time on my hand.
Right.
And so I want to learn that stuff, but not just that. Then I want to learn technique, trying to, practice. Like somebody was talking about it on the on Metalhead Hippie show a little while ago, with talking about. Oh, I think it was Tom talking about somebody he knows that's really good in the hours he puts in.
Right.
Me, I think, I practice a lot. I was doing the same thing for 2 or 3 hours. Well, that's enough. Some people do it 8 hours a day.
Right. Right.
I mean, all along to learn how to, and I had to, I guess I'm on, I'm not a kid anymore, and I have to work in before the, what do you call it? The Alzheimer's sets in, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I work with people that are like 15 years older than me, and they're not doing. Some of them are still doing pretty good, but a lot of them are not. There he is. There's Metalhead Hippie. How you doing? Yeah.
Hey,
Pete. Hey, Pete. Thanks for dropping in, guys. Yeah. So, by the way, guys, I'm doing a little test. I'm using, instead of using one of my good mics, which you can't hear, I'm using the Zoom Q2N mic. It's built into this little teeny camera I have over here, because I want to try to get, like, if I'm doing guitar stuff, I don't want to, and if I got to talk, it's a pain to have the stuff in my face. And if this sounds halfway decent, I'll just use this.
Hey, Dog Paw, have fun with that, and try and mix it up even more. Try and target either only the thirds, like you said, or target only the fifth, or try bending into the roots. That's always fun too.
Or slide into that.
No bend.
I've been doing
bending. Start bending into the roots.
I've been bending, but I've been doing sliding lately. And
slides are great too.
It's just been adding a little dynamic thing to it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, answer me. Is the audio sound good enough for me? I know Dave sounds good. Dave sounds good on my end. I'm hoping my audio sounds good enough, because I was getting ready to get a lapel mic, some kind of USB lapel mic or something like that. Because I don't want to. I don't want to have, let's say I don't want to have a regular mic in front of me anymore when if I'm playing my guitar. It's just annoying. Gets in the way, and I don't have too much room. I need to rearrange things. I got this real high-end computer, but that's on the table by itself, and I need it tilted. So what? Oh shoot! Yeah. Get out of there. So I don't have too much room on there. But I thought, and here's what this is. This is what I got all on this table right there. There's the mixer on the far left, and the Helix and then
Right.
I'm on a laptop, but this is like a 50-inch, 49-inch TV here.
Right.
But I'm thinking about putting that mixer, trying to get it on the end here somewhere, so I can like switch it off to that computer.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because that thing is so. I'm telling you, it is. And you were probably right. I probably didn't save much money building it. I probably, would have been just as good if I got one of those iBuyPowers. Except for I do. It does have the, the parts in it that I wanted it.
Right.
Like when I matched it up on iBuyPower, it was a little more. But I did good getting it before right around, I guess it's around Black Friday, somewhere around
Yeah,
here.
it was before. It's right before. Yeah.
Because they had when I went to Micro Center, I'm like torn. I didn't know if I wanted an Intel. I was going to get an i9 or a Ryzen. I'm going back and forth. Well, the i9 was probably like $150 more.
Right.
Or I could have got an i7, which was $299, but that went up to $360 after the holidays, and i9. But for that CPU, I paid is a Ryzen 3800. What did I pay for it? $330, I think it was. $330.
The Ryzen 7.
Yeah, the 3800, and it came with its own
cooler,
heat-seeking fan, but I done replaced it because it was too loud and it just doesn't cool. So I got this real fancy. It's got 2 fans in there, but it's not RGB. But I knocked like 10 or 15 degrees Celsius off of there. So
nice.
it's really working good.
Yeah, those like the iBuyPowers, like what I got.
Right.
They're liquid cooled on the CPUs.
Right. See, I could have. I'm not a fan of. I like the way liquid cooling looks because it doesn't take as much room.
Exactly.
But I'm just not a fan. It's just you're putting water into electronics. I know people, you don't have any problems, but something could happen, But these all-in-ones you shouldn't really have a problem with.
Right.
But
yeah,
I thought about that.
Oops, they're not that big of a deal, but
yeah. But I did. I'm satisfied. The bill went really good, and like in the old days, you couldn't do the cable management. Now it's like you can't even see the wire; everything's hidden. But like I said, but here the crazy thing is, I had and I wasn't into RGB, but after I got it, like the case came with 2 RGB fans, 200 milliamp.
Kind of cool, isn't it?
Right, and of course, and the CPU came. The original one came.
Right,
but and the motherboard lit up too, but I didn't get RGB RAM. But the GPU, that has RGB on it. But get this, I had to download 3 separate softwares to control all 3 of them.
Because the RGB stuff,
the one, it's an Asus Sports and Aurora Sync, whatever it's called. It would only control the fans, or like on the case, but it wouldn't control the GPU. I had to download one from NVIDIA for that, and then for the AMD heat-sinking fan with the LED on it, I had to download, not from AMD, I had to download a Cooler Master for that. And software, it only controlled the heat-sinking fan, but it didn't control the 200 millimeter case fan. It was just all weird. But anyway, I wasn't into it, but since then I said I got 3 more RGB fans I'll put in there. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 altogether. It looks pretty good. It's, I don't know, whatever. So
it's just cool, right? Because
I mean, you had one for a while. I never had like RGB lights didn't exist 7 or 8 years ago. My last build.
No.
Yeah,
well, like my last one was one of the iBuyPowers, and it had RGB in it too. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, And I just set it on a color and leave it because I'm boring, I guess.
Yeah. But so that's why I don't want to hook up some of my guitar stuff on Attic. So I did a couple streams with it, and actually, I don't know if you ever used this feature on OBS. You can do the auto configuration on it, and that automatically set. When I put OBS on that computer, it automatically set up the NVIDIA to NVIDIA RTX 2070, which is a higher end. It's not the highest, but it's a higher end
Oh yeah.
video card, and so it's using the NVIDIA encoder. This little laptop here, it's an i7, but it's got a built-in 2 meg card,
Right.
and it won't even work when you use it won't even use it uses a software encoder. But if you try to use the NVIDIA encoder, it won't work. But the same for my other computer. I have an AMD, but yeah, but that thing, it configured it itself. I guess it wants a certain amount of power. So when you're streaming live with that, it's really you can get good results with it. Not that I have any problem with this. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Metalhead Hippie. No, you got a nice setup, and I don't know if you're doing with your chipmunk voice today, but I still have it in here. I don't even know if it works with Windows 10. I had it for about 10 years. I got this USB audio interface, just a little USB audio interface, and it was by Creative. What was it called? Creative Labs back in the day, and it had software you could do all that stuff like that. Yeah,
you can do stuff like this.
Oh yeah, what are you using to do that? I don't have that on
Just
my
right off the mixer.
Oh, I don't have that on my mixer. The only thing I can do is Echo. That's the only thing I can do on a mixer. Yeah. What kind of mixer do you have, Dave?
This is the Yamaha, the MG10.
Yep.
XUF. It's the fader.
I think I had that, but I took it back. Why did I take it back? It wasn't USB. I wanted a USB. Either or I was getting noise, but I had some Yamaha and I took it back. And I have this Mackie Pro FX8. It's probably about 8 or 10 years old. It's worked good for me. It did a long time.
Yeah, I got that one back in June, I guess.
Also, it's a newer one.
Yeah, it's new, and right. I like it good. It does what I need it to do. It's
right.
But,
I recently, like for Christmas, I got like a couple gift cards from Guitar Center, but it was only like $65. What can I get for $65? Right.
Right.
So I have a nice headset down here for my Helix. One of the better. It's like $100 headset, Sony G706, whatever it is. I don't know where it's at. What did I do with?
Here's the mixer, Mitch.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't that, but whatever Yamaha had, it was nowhere near that big, but I didn't like it. It was just noisy or something like that. And I got this. This was only, I think, $230 when I got it, but it works good. It has a USB pass through where I could, if I have it pressed, you would hear any window sounds I play them, whatever.
Hey,
so, there's Brian.
Yes. My partner in crime on Wednesday nights.
And I'll ask Brian while you're here. Do you know? Because I don't know what happened to Gary. Oh, yeah, Gary. I was trying to ask you, Gary. How come whatever you were playing? How come your sound was not being killed in StreamYards? Like sometimes people play, and I know you're probably playing with your amp in the background, but I was just wondering why. If you did anything special, which the only choices you have is disable audio processing. But I was wondering if you did that because it sounded good. It wasn't killing it.
Well, he said he was micing the amp, but it was not going direct.
Well, that must have see. I can't do that. I have to use because my wife would yell if I still got my Boss Katana 100 over here, which I haven't turned on in months. Then I got a little Black Star, which I can use at USB with the software, but it's funky. Nothing else works in it. Like when I use that as an audio interface, that's the only thing that works, and I can't get any mic to work with it.
Right.
Well, of course, I haven't tried it with OBS, maybe, but I haven't played that in a while. Anywho, but getting back to theory and the modes and what does this mean? What does that mean? I think it's interesting. I mean,
yeah, it's cool stuff, man. It's just a way to explain things, right? That's all it really is.
Mhm.
And if you take that approach to it, it's really not. I mean, you can run down that rabbit hole as far as you want to go, and you'll never you'll never wrap your head around every bit of it. But for the most part, like your modes, most of your modes, that's not difficult. It's it takes some basic knowledge, but it's really not that difficult.
Right.
I mean, I can show you how the modes work. It's really that easy. But unless if you don't have a decent foundation in at least the major scale, then because that's all the modes are based off the major scale.
Right.
And if you don't get that, if you don't get that concept of the major scale, you're never going to get the modes.
Right. Right. See, like when we all get a guitar, or the first thing we learn, I guess, is the pentatonic scales, the minor pentatonic scales, and it wasn't until
Minor, major, it's all the same.
Right. Well, it's the same pattern, and I just started using that.
No, they're literally it's literally, so your A minor pentatonic, right?
Mm-hmm.
That A minor pentatonic shape that everybody knows, right?
You move it 3 steps back or up.
That's a C major pentatonic.
Right. It's relative minor, major, A minor.
But my point is it's the exact same thing. It's major and minor. It's all in the context and how.
Well, take the E minor pentatonic scale on the 12th fret, right?
Mm-hmm. That's
but if you move it, right, if you move it back,
no, you don't even have to move it back. If you take this, right, E, G, E.
All right, I'm talking about like just that B, pattern, the regular 1 4 1 4 1 5 1, and move that back with like
right.
You get that the major, the one's the minor and one's the major. I never did that before. Well, I have in the last 4 years. I've been doing. You get a totally different sound, and a lot of stuff I play is it's in that, on the major side of the that scale pattern, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So it's and you're right. It is your relative major. And relative
right.
But it's also about how you perceive and where your context lies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're playing that A minor pentatonic that we all know and love, and that off the 5th fret, and somebody's playing a C chord progression,
mm-hmm.
It's going to work. It's going to fit because it's the same notes. It's still the it's still the C major pentatonic. It's the same notes in it. Now, if somebody flips over to an A chord progression, because we know we can use minor over major, that's the blues,
mm-hmm.
right? It's going to sound great too. Now, the one thing you have to worry about if you're playing that major pentatonic over, if you're playing a C major pentatonic over a C major progression, you have to watch out for the 4. That's the only one you have to watch out for, is the 4 chord, because there's one note in the C major or in a major pentatonic that clashes in the 4.
You see, that's what I play so much by ear. And if this sounds good, I'll play that. But the thing is sometimes it just, for me, it gets so boring because you're doing the same exact thing, and
right, and
you want to be able to do it. And there is, like, I've been watching. You know who Steve Stein is, so I've been watching a lot of his stuff lately, just recently, last week, whatever. But you can go, so to speak, like out of bounds a little bit. You can hit some other notes and add some color that you
Right.
wouldn't think it would be in. So I said, "Whew, I would never think about playing anything like that, and it sounds good."
Right. Well, I mean, that's like, if you take your minor pentatonic, which is a 1 flat 3 4 5 flat 7, and you add the 2 and you add the 6, you have Dorian.
Okay. So he was taking, let's say, if you go just for, let's say, in the C scale, and you're starting like, what's that thing to do? C, what is it again? C, the 1, 3, and 5.
Yep. C, E, and G. Mm-hmm.
Add the a half step to the you're adding it to before the 1, like you would just go to, a half step before that and add that, and it adds a little, it's a different sound to it. And like,
Right.
what you're doing, like a hammer on, then I don't know, it's hard for me to explain, but it sounds cool. It always sounds good when somebody knows what they're talking about and plays it.
Right.
Okay.
In Jazzville, if you play a bad note once, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
It's being hit and playing outside the lines. That's right.
You're right though. It's funny though how you have all these different genres of music,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, you're a rock guy. I'm not much on metal. Not that I don't like it. I just don't know it, right? But and then when you listen to jazz, actually, I've taken in my 50 years of playing on and off. I've taken maybe 5 or 6 months of lessons if you add everything up from different people, right?
Sure.
And I think I went to a jazz. He's teaching me jazz. That lasted like maybe 3 lessons, but it's just the sound is totally different. Not that it doesn't sound good, but it's
vastly different. It's like night and day.
Yeah. Do you I don't know, have you worked at any instruction books on your own that you got that you would recommend, or anybody in the chat?
Dogpa hit on one, the guitar mastery method. Those are pretty good as far as books, but I still say nothing beats a one-on-one teacher. And
yeah.
The reason why I say that is because you can pick up a book and you can read, and how you interpret things is one thing, and if you misinterpret it or if you don't quite understand it, you don't have somebody that immediately that you can ask that question, say, can you explain that in a different way? Or if you pick in a technique out of a book and you play it wrong, you don't have somebody saying to you, hey, that's not the right way to do it. Try this, or, whatever. So that one-on-one instruction, and a good teacher will teach to you and teach in a way that you're going to understand it, in a way that you're going to pick it up, you're going to grasp it. And Ed, I'll have to agree with that. The key is learning the fretboard. If you learn the fretboard, you've unlocked a big mystery. So
yeah, when I got back into it, I went through periods where I probably haven't touched the guitar in 10 years. And when I kind of got back into it in 2001, I started taking lessons from this guy, and he was really good. But the thing he said, and he could shred. He was an older guy too. He was older than me. But he said, "Oh, I liked how you do that." And you'll be playing like me in 3 months. Yeah, that never happened. that never happened. No.
Right.
He was trying to teach me some. If you know who Vinnie Moore is, he was some shredder back in the day. He's still around, I believe. Yeah. But I couldn't. I did. Well, being me, I didn't work with the. He gave me exercises to do, or play this song, and he had it all tabbed out, and I would do it like a little bit, but I don't do it now. But now, see you later, Meta Hippie. And but now I have patience now. So to a point, like I played around with what songs I played around with? What's that Canon D? But not all the way. I just play a little
Right.
beginning, then I have my own stuff, and then with Clissa Dover, I never bothered to learn that all the way through. And then you don't play these things in a while. I don't know how you are, Dave, but I forget how to play them. You learn how to play like the riff in Hotel California. I could play that fairly well at one time. I don't have a clue. I don't remember. I haven't played in years or a year.
I will agree with that statement, Bubble Bess. When you teach yourself theory, you run around in circles a lot. That is absolute. There's a lot of truth in that.
Oh, you guys are making a joke. The circle of fifths, right? No, just kidding. I know that's in there somewhere. I see that in all these books I look at.
Well, okay. What is the circle of fifths?
I had no idea.
So it's basically all it is it's the relation of one key to another key, right? And it's based off the fifth of each key. Okay. So if you were to take
like the 1, 3, 5, the fifth from the major scale to
so if you were to take a C, my brain's fried. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? There's no sharps or flats in that. So you take the G, which is your fifth. That's your. This is our next scale.
Hey Dave, can you start over? Can you make it big so we can see the letter? I can't see the letter. If you can, let me.
I got an idea.
I can't even make the screen bigger on mine.
Give me a sec.
There you go.
Let me see if I can get this to go here. Okay, how's that?
There you go. Yep, I can see.
Okay. So let me find a happy spot for this thing.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay, so we start with our C.
Mm-hmm.
We have no sharps and flats, right?
Right.
So off the fifth of C is G, right? Count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
Right.
G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, right? We have one sharp.
Well, so, back up a little. So what is that? What are you writing underneath there? What is that? The G8? What is that underneath
This
there?
is the G major scale.
Okay.
So
it's the same thing. Okay.
We just went from the fifth, right? Now, what are we going to do? What are we going to do next? What's our fifth of G?
1, 2, 3 for D.
There you go. So D, E, F sharp, because we have our F sharp from here, right?
Mm-hmm.
F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, because we have to have that half step between 7 and 8. D.
Right.
So this has 2 sharps. And what's going to be our next one?
A. 1, 2, 3.
Exactly. Do you see how this pattern is developing? So I'll scoot this back. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F.
But every single one has the same intervals, right? The same distance between one another.
So what's going to be our next one?
We
have 3 sharps in here, by the way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. E, A, B, C, D, E.
Yep. E. Yep.
E. But these are all major scales. So they're all going to still be whole step, half step,
yep.
whole step, and then another half step.
E sharp. E. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have 4 sharps in this one. And feel free to count them. Make sure I'm not lying to you. There's 4 sharps in there.
Oh, I have to see you. I don't know how you can do that in your head. If it's not C, I have to look at it on and then figure out what that letter, what the note is.
So what's our next one going to be?
We did E, 1, 2, 3, 4. Was that B? 3.
B, right.
Yeah.
B. Ready for B? B's fun. B, C sharp, D sharp.
I don't know how the hell you remember that stuff by heart.
A sharp, B. We have, count them, 5 sharps.
1, 2, 3, 4. What's that? F sharp. The next one. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, F. The fifth on that.
Yep. So our next one will be F sharp. That is correct. But we don't play very much. Well, I guess we could do F sharp. Why not? So F sharp, G sharp.
I think we're losing some people in here.
A sharp,
Brian.
B, C sharp, D sharp, F, and F sharp.
Now, do you know this by heart, or are you doing something so you can figure it out real quick? Is there a secret, or do you know, or you just know it by heart?
I don't know it, but well, some of these I know. I know these 4 very well.
Obviously.
Well, these 4,
Mm-hmm.
because these are, 80% of what you play rock and roll is in one of these four keys.
Mm-hmm.
G, D, A, and E.
And the thing is, it's the same pattern. Everything is the same pattern.
It's the same pattern.
Just
Right.
different notes depending where you're playing on the keyboard.
Right.
On the keyboard, on the fretboard.
It's our age-old pattern of a major scale: whole step, half step, whole step, half step. And if you can picture a keyboard, yeah, exactly. It is a pattern, and it falls into place on its own. It really does.
It does, yeah.
You just have to spend some time with it, and kind of commit to it. So in this, and here's your theory. Yeah, harmonic minor. I don't know. So
Well, I know it sounds awfully good, the harmonic minor. With a little bit I've heard of it.
So if you want it diminished, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. There's your diminished scale, or your
No sharps or flats in there? B, C, D, E, F, G, A.
or your Locrian mode.
I was never an Ace Frehley fan.
This is B Locrian.
Or Kiss fan, except for 2 or 3 songs. Okay. I can tell you what I play the most. I think I play a lot of the Ionian. Do that. Write that out. The
Ionian.
Yeah. So okay, there you go. Because everything I play is based off. Well, it's I say that because it's the same pattern. So I relate it to being. I just play everything as a major scale.
Let's move this up out of the way a little bit more. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B. We're gonna go off of C. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we start with D and make our 7-note scale off of D, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. This is now Dorian.
Okay.
This is your Dorian mode. It's what this is. You start from E, F, G, A, B, C.
Everything's related.
Phrygian. That's your Phrygian mode. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. That's got Mixolydians next. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's Mixo. Mixolydian. And we got two more. Might as well go ahead and finish them up.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, don't name. Let's see if I can figure out what a Dorian for you. Aeolian. I'm just guessing. Aeolian.
Exactly. A-E-O-L.
That was a guess because just
that's your sixth mode, Aeolian, and then our last one we've already done is Locrian,
Oh, okay.
and that's from going from B to B up the C major scale. Now, this is the absolute easiest way to understand it. This is not the easiest way to apply it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is actually the hard way to apply it in a sense, okay? So you understand what we're doing here. We're taking each degree of the scale and we're forming a new scale.
Right.
Based off of the C major.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what if we applied different? Yeah, agreed. Dogpile Locrian is an abomination. It should be like
Useless.
Locrian has no reason to live. you don't so rarely you're going to use Locrian in what we're playing. The ones you're going to use the most are Aeolian, Mixolydian, Dorian, and of course Ionian. Those are the ones you're going to use. Lydian some. You might see Phrygian every once in a while. Phrygian's a little weird too, but Phrygian and Locrian are probably some of the least used in rock music. With the Lydian being the next least, and then of course your popular ones are going to be Aeolian, Mixolydian, Dorian, and Ionian. So let's do a little bit of let's have a little bit of fun here. So if I'm thinking Dorian, I'm not thinking off a C. I'm thinking something else. I'm thinking a flat 3 and a flat 7. That's what I'm thinking. Flat 3, flat 7. That's how I look at Dorian. Because I'm looking at Dorian off of the D major scale, not the C major scale.
Say that again. You're looking at Dorian as a what?
I'm looking at this Dorian right here. I'm looking at it as a D major scale, not a derivative of the C major scale. I'm looking at it off of D.
Okay, I got you.
Because if you take D, E, F sharp, right? G, A, B, C sharp, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You're flat 3, flat 7. Same thing with Mixolydian. We're gonna so a Mixolydian. So if I'm thinking G Mixolydian off of the G major scale, G A B C D E F sharp would be the major scale. G, right? So it's a what? Flat 7. Pretty easy, right?
Yeah, if you say so. For you. I'm still trying to figure out what you said about the what's it, the flat 3rd, and I can't see the 7th on the Dorian.
Flat 7 on the Dorian. Yeah. Okay. So let's back up and punt on that one.
Yeah. Show me on your D, your scale there that you have written out there. Okay. That's okay. So D and E is a whole step.
Right. Here, this is your D major right here. D, so whole step, between E and F sharp is a whole step.
That's right. Okay, I got it.
Here's your half step.
I was getting confused because
No,
E and
you're
F is a half. E and F is a half step. You need to go to the sharp for the whole
Right,
step.
right.
Okay, I got it now.
Yeah. So here's your D major scale. So your D Dorian would just be flatting that F and flatting that C, right? So if you take those sharps away, if you make those naturals, F natural and C natural, what do you have? D Dorian right there. Does that make sense?
No, but I'll take your word for it. But
It's just a formula. This right here is I'm just deriving this to make a formula to make it easier to remember. That's all. Instead of having to think back.
But the way you have it written up there, the Dorian on top there, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, those are the notes for a Dorian?
Yes, sir. For D Dorian, yes.
For D Dorian.
Yes.
But this is just in your mind, you think how you flatted the how you put the like
okay.
you can't see what I'm pointing at. You know, where you just wrote down or where you put the flats in or a sharp or whatever you do.
Let's take that away. So I'm gonna see if maybe this will correlate. So we did C. So let's kind of, and we're gonna deal with Dorian for a minute. So I'm gonna get rid of all this other crap for right now. Okay, we're just gonna deal with Dorian. So if I write a G major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want a Dorian that's based in G. That's going to be A Dorian. And that scale is going to be A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G.
So what is that again? It's a Dorian in A in key of A, or is that what you're saying?
It's A Dorian is
okay. Yeah. Okay.
This is A Dorian. This is D Dorian. But if you see, this A Dorian relates to the G major scale, where the D Dorian relates to the C major scale.
Yeah, it means nothing to me. I'm not sure what you're trying to get at. I'm not alone. I'm not alone in the chat, except for Don Paul and the other guy.
Let's try one more. Let's see if it drops on for you. So we're gonna do D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, right?
So what is that now? That was you just wrote?
D major scale.
Okay, it's a D major scale. Okay, I got that.
Okay. If I wanted to make a Dorian, I'm going to start on the E. Okay.
Why?
That's Dorian is your second mode. So remember how we did this? See, if you look here, this is our C major scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our D Dorian
starts
on D, right? On the G major scale, our A Dorian starts on the A. So if I'm
it's always going to be the second, starting on the second.
Always the second. So if I'm gonna do a Dorian based on the E major scale, it's going to be what Dorian?
E
Dorian, exactly. So it's E, F sharp. G,
He's giving me the answers. That's the only reason why I know, guys.
C, D. Oh, C sharp. Sorry, left out my C sharp there. D. Right.
So here's what I need to know. What are the intervals and all that? Is everything still going to be the same, like whole step, or it's going to be all different, right?
Your modes change,
right?
And this is why I say if you look at it more as off of a formula rather than based off of the major scale. So let me do something a little more relatable. I have a song. You know this song. I think everybody knows this song. Its first chord and its main chord is its tone center is D minor. Okay.
Is Hack's favorite guitar band? Band?
Absolutely, it is. Its tone center is D minor.
It's
And
what?
in that song, there is obviously a D minor. There's a G major. There is a C major. And there is an F major. Okay?
What song is this?
Another Brick in the Wall Part 2.
Okay.
Okay?
Just want to make sure. Yeah.
Yep. So we know the song is in D minor.
Right.
Hands down, it's in D minor. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now you might look at this and look at these chords and say, no, Dave, that's in C major. No, it's not. It's in D minor. The entire song is centered around D minor.
I just know from playing it, it's in D. It's the predominant
D
for
minor.
me. My thinking anyway. Yeah, D minor. Yeah.
It's D minor. Hands down, no questions asked. So let's break these down. Let's build our triads. Okay. D, F, A, G, B, D, C, E, G, and F, A, C. All right.
Good night, Hack.
Night, Hack. These are, and we're just dealing triads right here. Okay, we're not dealing anything else. We're just dealing triads.
Okay.
So let's build a 7-note scale centered around here, not here because it's not in C, it's in D minor.
Okay.
So we're gonna start on D, right? D.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have an E from C, right? And yep, E. We have an F from D minor and from the F major, F. Right.
All I know is I think
We
the
have
minor it's going to have a flatted third. Am I right?
Well, just stick with me.
Yeah.
Stick with me. We have two G's, right? We have a G from our G major chord, and we have a G from our C. Okay.
Yeah.
G. Now we have a couple of A's. So we have an A. We've got a B from our G major, B. And we have a C from our C and from our F. What does this look like to you?
Oh, a major scale, but starting on a D. But I have let me D and E is one whole step. Oh,
We're not.
and
This is mode. This is modal.
Dorian.
This is Dorian.
Yeah. Actually, in the EF is a half step, not a. Yeah. Okay.
This
all
is
right.
Dorian. This song is written
Yeah.
in the Dorian scale. Yeah, exactly, Dogpa. But this is the way to see it, right? So let's do another one. Let's see. Did we already do Back in Black?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did Back in Black. So we figured out that was Mixolydian, right? Let's do.
I can't remember what we called.
Let's see. Another fun one. So let's do. I think everybody knows "Don't Cry." Guns N' Roses, "Don't Cry," right?
Good night, Dwight.
Night, Dwight. We have A minor, and that's our key for the song. It's A minor.
Okay.
Okay. So our chords are A minor, D minor, right? I got to play through it.
But you have to pick up the guitar to figure something out. What? I don't believe that.
I can't remember. I have to.
Can't
my
remember everything.
fingers have to do it. My fingers have the memory. My brain doesn't. So we're in C. Nope, not G. We already wrote the G. C major and F major. So if we look at that, what can we derive from that?
A minor, D minor.
We know the song's in A minor,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's our tone center is A minor. So if we were to sit and break these chords down again,
Aeolian.
exactly. Bam.
I don't.
Bam.
Because because Dogpog gave me the answer earlier.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah, any Pink Floyd.
you're not supposed to give him the answer. He's supposed
Oh,
to.
that was before. And A minor, Aeolian starts with an A like that. That's the only reason why, I guess.
Well, here's your clues, right? Your C, your F, your G. That's your 1-4-5 in a C major, right? In the key of C. D minor is your second, and then A minor is your sixth. So if you look at it as a whole, you can take these three chords here and you say, okay, that's a 1-4-5, or that's a C 1-4-5. Okay, well, that's a D minor. Okay, it's really looking like it's written in C, but it's not. It's actually in A minor. So if you take that C and write it out, and you start at the A, there's your Aeolian. But if you want to go ahead and break these, if you want to break these down, we can build our triads if you want to.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Real.
A C E D F A.
Of course, and he knows them all by heart, of course.
E C E G F A C. And then you just build your scale off of that, starting at the A.
The only one I know by heart is the C.
Yeah.
The C E G.
And there's your scale, which that equals A E O L I A N. Sorry, I'm getting a little fried there, but yeah. And that's kind of how you apply theory and apply modes. If you have to look at the song itself, you have to look at and Dogpog exactly. I mean, given that A minor is the root, it's either gonna be Aeolian or it's gonna be Dorian. It'll either be a Aeolian or a Dorian. Well, I guess it could be.
Phrygian. No, I just said that.
Yeah, it could be. It could be an A.
I don't know. I
But
have no clue.
Not with the rest of these chords.
I don't know if I'll ever get that, to be honest.
The whole thing is you have to take everything in context, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of what I'm getting at. So you absolutely have to take everything in context, and where you're learning your key, learn what key the song is in, and then build your chords off of that, and then you build your triads, right? Build your triads, and then build your scale, and then once you build that scale here off of this tells you exactly what mode it is. Now there's faster ways to do it, but to learn it, this is the best. This is, well, I'm not going to say this is the best, but this is the best way I know to teach it.
And then there's people that don't know any of that stuff, but they know what all those mixolydian, aeolian, just by sound. They know what to
Right.
what to play by sound.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Sure.
there's your kind of crash course. Mode.
All right.
It isn't necessarily needed to play Dogpaw, but to understand what's going on, it's helpful if you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Well,
I bet the only as close as I get to a session player is here on YouTube. Whatever I play, somebody's rhythm track.
yeah. So yeah, Dante. I get what you're trying to say, but if you know, then you know. Otherwise, it's like
Dorian. Okay.
It's like hearing somebody that knows the chords, knows where the music is going, and plays off of that, versus somebody just sitting ripping licks off on a guitar. Anybody can sit and rip licks off a guitar. That's easy.
What I want. That's what I want to do.
That's the easy bit.
But I want to know what it's called, what I'm ripping. You know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, what I get, what I'm getting at is, you know, you cop a lick off of this person, you cop a lick off of that person, you kind of make it a little bit your own, and you just you're playing those licks, and they sound okay,
right?
But that's all you're doing is playing those licks. If you don't sit and think about and know what you're playing, and I guarantee you, a lot more of those guys that are playing rock and roll know what they're playing than don't. I guarantee you they do.
But there's some really, 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 really good players. They could tell you, they could give it to about theory, and they can shred all over the place.
Right. But you know, here's the thing. Do you want to sound, I mean, do you want to be that guy that just, you know, wheedly? If you want to be that guy, fine. Lick away. You know, if you want to be that guy that when somebody listens to it, it sounds good, it's moving, it follows, it flows.
Dan just posted a pretty good thing. I want to be that guy. I want to chase the chord. You want to follow the chord. Chase the chord.
If you want to follow the chord, if you want to play something that sounds melodic, that sounds like it's supposed to be there, rather than wheedly over.
Yeah, you know, learning this stuff will help that for sure.
This is what you need to know.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
this
interesting. I don't know if I'll get it all, but I'll get it. I know I can get it, understand enough to help me. I just can't. I'm not going to be like, I understand a lot of what you're saying, but I have to, you know,
right.
You know, count it up, you know, like,
and you know what, that's fine, because
other than the C scale, I have to figure it out, which I know it's the same pattern, but I don't know what the notes are without like looking at my, looking at the guitar neck. You know.
I tell you what, now that you have this, and you'll always have the stream you can reference, you can go back and look at, and I'll give you a link to the video.
Yeah, I got all kinds of, I download all kinds of stuff now. Now, Bumble Blast, you say you taught yourself, and you swear it seemed like you backtrack. Yeah, I have to backtrack so I can understand it, and then I understand. I don't unless you have a better um or a better way of doing it. I mean, I figure you're gonna have to. There's gonna be it's gonna become a point where you are gonna have to remember certain things.
Yeah, you have to memorize things.
Remember something.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to memorize things. And whatever.
Like,
yeah, what dog pun.
Yeah, that's good.
Whatever method you choose, you have to choose whatever works best for you. Right.
I do want to get a book. I mean, I have no problems with getting a book because now a lot of people, and I know you probably know it too, Dave, the guitar Grimoire books.
Grimoire, yeah.
Grimoire books. People praise them. I don't know. Is it worth getting something like that?
Up to you, man.
See, I need to go back. I can't until I start remembering this stuff.
It's one of those things where if you sit and put the time in on the guitar, and it's like kind of like Ed Dana said earlier, if you learn the fretboard, you really start to unlock it. And I mean, I've sat down and just in spare time, like during work, and I'll write down like major scales, just so I'm familiar with the, especially the sharps. That once you get to A, you've got 3 sharps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, and now E, you've got 4 sharps, and then so on. Then B, you've got 5 sharp or 4 sharp, whatever, right? So it's sitting down, writing those things and committing those things to memory, so that way when you go to the guitar, and like there's a couple ways you can do things, and so I wasn't planning on teaching this yet or really exposing this yet, but I'll go ahead and do it. So if you pick a key, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pick a key and we'll take G, the key of G, for example, right? We've got a G, and then we'll do a C, right? Mm-hmm. So if you take that and pick a spot on the fretboard, I'm going to start on this D, right? Which is technically what?
You telling me?
Yeah, I am talking to you.
Oh,
if I start on this D playing a G major scale,
the 3rd.
That's Mixolydian.
Oh,
doesn't matter. Okay. Doesn't matter.
I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't.
D's the 5th of G, so it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant right at the moment. But if you take if you take your G pattern, right, so we're starting on D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. Okay. Right. Now, what we're going to do is we've got to find the triads in that little area. And this is the only area we're focusing on from here to here on 3 strings. Okay. So there's our G. Because right there's our G note. That's D. That's B. So there's our G triad. Okay. Our C triad is right there. Our root is on the E string. Okay. That's what F. No. No, that's G. Sorry. C, G, E. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Okay. So if we go and we start on the G, which is right here, and I'm going to count 8 notes, and I don't care. Pick a direction, up or down.
Up.
Up. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play inside that little pattern that I showed you earlier. And I'm going to go up until I get to the end of that pattern, and I'm counting and then I'm going to start coming back down, and it's going to be 8 notes. Okay. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I landed on A. So my next chord is going to be C. So I need a C, E, or G. Wow. Right there. I'm on the G. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm on the A again. And now I need a G, B, or D. Right, there's a B. Oh, I landed on F sharp this time. So I need a C, E, or G. All right. Eventually, and if you do that, that pattern will start to repeat really quickly. With 2 chords, it repeats really fast. So what do? You throw another chord in there. Throw a D chord in there. So throw your 1, 4, 5. We're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we need a C, or C, E, or G. Now we need a D. We're on an A. We need a D or an F sharp. Well, oh. Now we're back to the G. So we need a G, B, or D. Well, we're on a D. So now we need a C, E, or G. And all we're doing is counting 8 notes. And every 8th note, we're targeting one of the notes of the triad of the next chord. It's a lot to wrap your head around, and it'll melt your freaking brain.
An hour and a half ago started and melted in my brain. Yeah, this is
that exercise is a damn disgustingly hard exercise. And if you don't believe me, try it.
But you could write it out and remember it ahead of time, right?
Well,
what you're supposed to play, right?
What if you descend?
You can write that out. You can write that. I can tell from doing. If you do that a while, you're going to be able to get it in your head.
What you end up doing? Here's what you end up doing. You end up seeing.
Yeah.
Or you end up seeing those triads appearing in that pattern. And you're always going to be able to find, if you know what chord's coming next, you're always going to be able to find one of those chord tones for what's coming next. That's what it teaches you to do. It's not about memorizing. It is about memorizing the notes and knowing where you got to go. That's what it's more about than anything.
Oh yeah,
but it will absolutely melt your brain. I
have a learning disability though. It just started about an hour ago.
And you can even shift up and start on the E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. Yeah. And you can do the same thing because here's your G. There's your G triad right there. G, C.
Good night, Dan.
And D are right there. So you get comfortable in one spot, move to the net, and move to another spot. Learn that.
And you can make melody out of all that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I know you can.
yeah. Right. And that's playing with those 8 notes.
Okay. All right.
And I didn't even go up to the C or the D. Another fun thing to do is to play in your triads, play on the thirds, play around with the thirds. Right? Let's see.
You know what I think will be easier? I think I'm going to start learning how to play songs where there's nothing but chromatics in there. In the whole, in everything. And then I think I would do that really good. I wouldn't forget anything.
So if you start playing around with your thirds, right? Right. What you end up doing is
Beautiful Dreamer, whatever it's called.
Right. But what happens is you start saying, okay, 3 flat, 3, 1, 5. 3 flat, or 3 flat, 3, 5, 1. 3 flat, 3, 5, 1. 3 flat, 3, 1, 5. Right. So how does that work? Well, remember, like I said earlier, with the blues,
no.
you can. The beautiful thing about the blues is what you can take a major chord progression and you can play a minor third over a major chord progression. It sounds good. That's what the blues are. It's just using a minor third. That's why you can, take that A major, right? Right there, that's A minor. Right? And that sounds just perfectly over the blues or over a major progression.
No, I do bubble bliss. I mean, to a point. I don't know if it's necessary to learn everything, but yeah, I don't. I guess you can take it as far as you want to take it, or learn some of it, or it's not like I'm not interested in it, but some of it is like whatever you were talking about. It you said it'll blow your mind. I don't know if I need to know that.
Well, no, it'll melt your mind because it takes a lot of brain power especially when you first start doing that exercise. It takes an enormous amount of brain power. That's why I said it'll melt your brain.
Which I don't have much of, very, very much brain left at my age. But I'll see what I can do.
It's once you kind of get the grasp of it, it's a terribly boring exercise because it's not very musical. But what it does is it teaches you, it puts you in those triads, and it forces you to do it. And if that gets too easy, then what you start doing is you start saying, okay, well, I'm only going to play thirds, on the changes. I'm not going to play the roots. So that makes you think even more. So, G, B, D. So this would be our start note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, we're already on the third. So what do? We go up to the fifth. and we need, if we were going to like D, and if
So
that
you're playing everything off of the next note, I guess, or
off the next chord, right?
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm walking right up the scale, right up and down
Yeah.
the scale until I count my 8. Once I count my 8, then I've got a change coming. So I have to know where my next, root, third, or fifth is going to be for the next chord. And I'm going to start on that. Once you get proficient with this, you keep challenging yourself. So you start with 2 chords, then you start with 3 chords, so 1, 4, 5, and then if that gets to be, if you start getting a handle on that, up it again, add the 6th chord in it, do a 1 6 1 6 5 4, right? And if that gets too easy, once you get that nailed down, then do throw a 3 in there. If that gets too easy, then start only targeting the fifths or targeting the thirds. If that gets too easy, then start bending into the roots, or bend into the thirds only on your changes, or bend into the fifths in your changes only. Make it challenging, and keep pushing yourself forward in it. And if one area gets too boring, you learn that area, you learn the notes in that area, move to another area, learn a new section. So what you're doing, in essence, you're doing multiple things. So you're learning your triads, you're learning the notes, you're learning the fretboard. You're not learning the whole fretboard, you're learning a little chunk of it. You're learning a little piece of it. And when it comes time to recall that, you know where that G is. You know where that D is. Or, you know where that F sharp is. You know where the A is. Either one of them. So you know where C is. So it's by doing that exercise, you actually start slowly learning the fretboard. You start learning those, like, again, you learn the triads, or you learn the triads. You learn now. Can you see how invaluable that is?
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the posts in here. So it looks like the Dog Paw and Bumble Bless, they have a really big knowledge. Yeah, or don't. I do that. That's what I do now. I do use my ear. If I'm in a certain key and playing a scale, I target the root. Always target the root note.
Try targeting a third or a fifth. If it's a minor, you gotta know where the minor third is. I mean, expand on that, and that's what that exercise I showed you. That's that eighth note exercise. That's what.
See, I'm probably doing all major even when I'm playing a minor chord and stuff like that. So I need to do that. Yeah.
And then you start noticing little things like the little patterns. Right? There's little patterns for these. And it's always with this, with how I'm chunking it up, it's always 2 strings have 3 notes and 1 string has 2 notes. And that's where I'm pulling my 8 notes from, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do one, do the next one. No, it wouldn't be G sharp. See, that this is part of what I haven't done enough of. So again, it's there's always room to improve and whatnot. So
Yes, that's what I need, Bumble. I need like I have to know like I was telling you, Dave, like when you write something out, when you're like everything's a C major scale, I know what all the intervals on that. But then when you move stuff up, I need to name all that stuff out, know it by heart, like Bubble Blast says. I don't, without I have to pick it up, pick my guitar up, let me pick the string. So there, that's that note, that's that note, and blah 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 blah. So it'll take a lot of memorization for me to get that.
I mean,
but I have plenty of time. So
if you do you have a keyboard?
No, no, but there's plenty of stuff online that I can, graphics.
If you have a keyboard, or
yeah, I got one right here.
No, not that kind of keyboard.
I know.
If you have a keyboard, those can be a very beneficial learning tool, especially for guitar. And it's just like the video I put out today. I had the little keyboard drawn on my whiteboard, and because a piano keyboard is a very visual thing, and it's very linear, right? It goes this way, one axis, horizontal. That's it. Guitar goes two axes, horizontal and vertical. So you have to think in two terms. You have to almost double your terms in a guitar, and not to mention the fact that these notes repeat like a son of a gun on a guitar. They don't repeat on a piano. Like you don't have the same A in three places on a piano that you have on a guitar, right? Because you have.
Well, you're not saying I should switch to a piano now, are you?
No.
No, I'm joking.
Right, there's four A's, the same frequency A, 5 of them on a guitar. You don't have that on a piano. All right, same note on 4 string or on 5 strings. So, yeah, guitar is three octaves. So, and 6 strings, and so we repeat a lot of notes, and that's where it makes the guitar a difficult instrument. It's actually one of the most difficult instruments to learn. So. And again, because you're having to think in 2 axes, an X and a Y, this way and this way.
All right, I think we had enough for it. Yeah, I'm still on the basic stuff.
And that's fine. And I don't know if you guys saw, I released a video today, and I've got an entire series coming out, and it's music, it's basics right now for the first 5 weeks. I've got them already scheduled. They're lined up to come out every Saturday, and it's chunked up what you saw in full, Mitch. Mm-hmm. And yeah. No, I'm not dog paw. Hard pass on the tuning in 5th. Hard pass. I have enough trouble with 4th.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
The guitar's tuned in 4ths.
440.
No, 4ths.
Well, whatever, 4ths.
No. Look at it.
The sound.
1, 2, right? fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Or yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's an interval.
Okay.
It's tuned in fourth. Guitars are tuned in fourth. E to A is 4. A to D is 4. D to G is 4.
It's all fours.
It's all except for B. So G to B is a third. That's why you actually get a G triad off of these three. G or G, B, D. That's a triad. It's a G triad. That's the only way you get that, because you tune that B is tuned in the interval of a third, and then you're back to a fourth at E.
Okay. All right, that's enough for tonight. I need to go to bed and recover from my Ravens football team getting killed tonight. They're out, and they were like 10-point favorites, and they got killed.
I hope I didn't destroy your brain.
Nah, I don't know any more than when I started, so you didn't kill them. I'm going to start. I'm just going to play around with the very basics. That's what I need.
Yeah,
right now. I think like Bubble. I needed to remember what the denotes of the strings and intervals, and then go from there.
Yeah. Watch my video today. That's intervals. That's all it is interval training. It's like me rambling for about 10 minutes on intervals. It's the first 10 minutes. It's the first 10 minutes of the video. The full video.
I will watch it. So,
if you take that one and just chunk it up, or just wait until they come out every week, and just take a week and just kind of use those videos for a week, or use that one video for a week. The one that comes out on Saturdays or whatever, just use it for the week. And then when the next one comes out, use it for a week, and see what see if any of that makes any more sense to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yeah, let me know, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the broadcast. So don't
all right, brother.
Yet. Wait, hold on. Then.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Who's ever left? I don't even know how many there's left in here. So, have a good rest of the weekend, and we shall see you.
All right, guys.